November 19th. On this date, one of football's most legendary moments happened. A milestone so iconic that 80,000 fans packed a stadium just to witness it. But there's something happening right now that's disrespecting that legacy. And almost nobody is talking about it. Cristiano Ronaldo just said something in an interview that crossed a line. And it's not the first time. Subscribe to Cyberboot, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you see one of football's biggest legends. This is serious. Let's go. Welcome back to Cyberboot, where we break down the stories that matter in football. Not just the highlights, but the context behind them. Today is November 19th, and if you're a true football historian, you know this date is special. But most people don't know why, and that's exactly where this story begins. On this day in history, something iconic happened. A goal that changed football forever. A milestone that defined a legend's career. But decades later, that moment is being undermined by comments that most people aren't even noticing. Cristiano Ronaldo has said something twice now in interviews that disrespects a legend who can't defend himself anymore. And I'm calling it out. Because this isn't just about numbers, it's about respect, it's about legacy, and it's about knowing when to stay silent. Let's break this down. November 19th. We need to go back to understand why this date matters. On this day, Brazilian legend Pelé scored the 1,000th goal of his career. The milésimo goal. It was a penalty in front of 80,000 fans at the Maracanã Stadium in Brazil. Now let me be clear. This wasn't just any goal. This was a cultural moment. The entire stadium erupted. Fans invaded the pitch. Pelé was lifted on shoulders. This was football history. And here's the thing. Pelé's goal-scoring record has always been controversial. There are 3 different official counts. Number 1, FIFA-recognized competitive goals. 757 goals in 812 matches. This is the number most widely accepted by FIFA and modern statisticians. Number 2, Brazil's official count. 767 goals when including all competitive matches, plus officially recognized friendlies. Number 3, Pelé's own claim, backed by Santos FC. 283 goals in 367 matches. This includes unofficial games, military matches, tour games, and friendlies, which is why the number is so high. Now, football historians and statisticians have debated Pelé's numbers for decades. Was it fair to count friendlies? Were military matches legitimate? Should tour games be included? These are valid questions, and people have discussed them respectfully for years. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. Fast forward to the present. Cristiano Ronaldo recently crossed 900 career goals. An incredible achievement. No debate there. He's one of the greatest goal scorers in football history. And close behind him, Lionel Messi, who's also approaching that milestone but hasn't quite reached it yet. Now, here's where things get uncomfortable. In Ronaldo's latest interview with Piers Morgan, Piers says to him, "You've got 948 goals now, Cristiano." And Ronaldo replies, "Yes, all with video proof." Pause. Let that sink in. All with video proof. Now on the surface, that sounds like a simple statement, just a fact, right? Ronaldo's goals were recorded on video. Fine. But here's the problem. Ronaldo has said this exact phrase before. In a previous interview with Rio Ferdinand, Ronaldo said, "I'm going to be the first to hit 1,000 goals, and all of them will have video proof." Again, video proof. Why does he keep saying that? What's the point of emphasizing video proof over and over? Because it's a dig at Pelé, it's obvious. Here's the twist that nobody on the internet is talking about. And I mean nobody. By constantly saying all with video proof, Ronaldo is undermining Pelé's legacy. He's implying that Pelé's goals don't count, because many of them weren't recorded on video. And here's why that's disrespectful. Pelé played in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. Video technology was limited. Not every match was filmed. Not every goal was recorded. That's just the reality of that era. Does that make Pelé's goals less legitimate? Absolutely not. The man scored in World Cup finals. He won 3 World Cups. He dominated the best defenders of his generation. His legacy is cemented. But Ronaldo keeps making these comments, all with video proof. Like it's a subtle way of saying, my goals are more legitimate than Pele's. And here's the most disturbing part. Pele died in December 2022. He's not here to defend himself. He's not here to respond. He's not here to set the record straight. And Ronaldo? He's still taking shots. This isn't confidence. This isn't self-belief. This is disrespect to a legend who can't fight back. Here's my first question for you. Do you think Ronaldo is intentionally disrespecting Pelé with these video-proof comments? Or am I reading too much into it? Drop your answer in the comments. I genuinely want to know what Cyberboot's audience thinks. Now let's talk about what this reveals about Cristiano Ronaldo's character. Look, I'm not denying Ronaldo's greatness as a footballer. He's one of the best ever. His work ethic is legendary. His achievements speak for themselves. But this behavior, this constant need to compare himself to legends, this inability to just let his football speak for itself, it's exhausting. Ronaldo is idolized by billions of people on this planet. He's a role model. He's an inspiration. Kids look up to him, and yet he talks like a troll, like a 10-year-old on social media looking for attention, saying whatever comes to mind without thinking about the consequences. Why does he need to take shots at Pelé? Why can't he just say, "I'm honored to be mentioned alongside legends like Pelé and Messi. My goal is to reach 1,000 goals and continue contributing to football's history." That's it. Simple, respectful, classy. But instead, all with video proof. Again and again, it's petty, it's unnecessary, and it diminishes his own legacy. Because decades from now, when people look back at Ronaldo's career, they'll remember the goals. But they'll also remember the ego, the insecurity, the need to constantly remind everyone how great he is. Messi doesn't do this. Messi lets his football speak. He doesn't compare himself to Pele or Maradona. He doesn't make snarky comments about video proof. He just plays. And that's why, for many people, Messi will always be seen as the more complete legend. So, why isn't anyone talking about this? Why aren't football pundits calling out Ronaldo for these comments? Why aren't journalists pressing him on it? Why aren't fans noticing? Because Ronaldo has a massive fan base, millions of people who defend everything he does, who refuse to criticize him, who see any critique as hate, and that's the problem. When you can't criticize someone's behavior without being labeled a hater, accountability disappears. I'm not saying Ronaldo is a bad person. I'm saying this specific behavior, these repeated digs at Pele, is wrong. And it should be called out. Pele was a legend. He changed football. He inspired generations. He deserves respect, especially now that he's gone. And Ronaldo, he should know better. Here's my second question for you. Why do you think nobody in the football media is calling out Ronaldo for these comments? Is it fear of his fan base? Or do people genuinely not notice? Let me know in the comments. At the end of the day, this story is about legacy. Pelé's legacy is secure. 3 World Cups, over 1,000 goals, regardless of how you count them. A global icon who transcended football. Ronaldo's legacy still being written. And moments like this, these petty comments, these unnecessary comparisons, will be part of that story. Greatness isn't just about what you achieve. It's about how you carry yourself, how you treat those who came before you, how you honor the game. And right now, Ronaldo is failing that test. All right, let's wrap this up. November 19th, the day Pelé scored his 1,000th goal, a moment that should be celebrated. But instead, we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo's repeated disrespect. All with video proof. A phrase he's said twice now, a dig at a legend who can't defend himself. Now, here's what I need from you. Hit that subscribe button on Cyberboot and turn on notifications. We're calling out the stories that matter, the ones other channels won't touch. Drop a comment answering this. Do you think Ronaldo is intentionally disrespecting Pele? Or is he just stating facts without thinking about how it sounds? Here's the big question. Between Ronaldo and Messi, who do you think has handled their legacy with more class? Let me know below. This is Cyberboot. We're building a community that values respect, honesty, and accountability in football. Subscribe, comment, and let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, remember, greatness isn't just about numbers, it's about character. And how you treat legends matters.